It's a Tuesday, which means it is time for Club Top Shot. As usual, we have all kinds of stuff going on. Yes, last week we had another Top Shot snafu with some run it backpacks accidentally posting on the site. We'll talk about that. We got Moonbirds that dropped. I mean, if anyone wants to ask me if I have a Moonbird, feel free to ask me. I would, happily talk about it. We've got another NBA NFT in the works as well. We got some VIPs joining us tonight to rip some packs. Our guy Willis has a holo pack, all tonight on Club Top Shot. All right, guys. It of course, as people might have seen on Twitter, Andy, he is at a birthday tonight. It is, of course, our friend Allie's birthday, the accountant to the NFT stars. So they're getting some much deserved time out. But we got Jack, we got MBL, and of course, CSU said he will be fashionably late. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. What's going on with you?
Not much. I was a little sick over the weekend. Ended up even having to skip some Easter plans. So that was a bummer, but feeling good today. How was your guys' Easter weekend?
It was good. I did some in-laws time, some my family time, some chill time. It was a lighter work weekend than the last 2 years of work weekends have been, which was a good thing. And yeah, what about you, Jack?
Yeah, there's definitely something going around. I don't know if it's COVID 8.0 or a flu, but there's people are not feeling great. I know
people are dropping like flies.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm hanging on right now. Got a bunch of in-person meetings this week. So we'll see. We'll see how I make it out. But good weekend. No complaints. Now we're here.
Yeah. And I did, Jack. Of course, the Tendies launched. I went on my app. I'm searching, anywhere within a 100-mile radius of me, just absolutely down bad. I had to head to Astoria was my closest location.
That's in New York. So
I am aware.
Feel free to come through. Yeah, we had a good launch on Saturday. It was a fun event in the city to kind of just celebrate the launch of it. Have no clue how it went, to be completely honest. Pop Chew is withholding all those numbers till our meeting tomorrow. And we definitely have some kinks to work through, just getting the food industry is brutal. Delivery is brutal, but we had some people who said they ordered, supported, and their orders were wrong, obviously. So we'll get it all figured out, but it was fun. It was cool to do. Happy we did it.
MBL, did you order your Tendies?
I haven't ordered Tendies yet. I was promised a free arrangement of Tendies because of my VIP status. It hasn't yet materialized, but look, I understand it's week one. There are growing pains. Ooh,
by
AJ.
What? I can't see it because my screen's covered.
Says, he asks if somebody owns Tendies.eth yet.
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe able to sell it to us in the future. Maybe you're not. It's funny you brings that up because first of all, Mike, I did remember you are a rent seeker / VIP, so we'll get you that code. But you need to check we need to check if we can deliver out to you in the boondocks wherever you're living right now. The ENS game is huge on Twitter. I see people posting about it all the time. Do you guys think that that's gonna be a domain, squatting on ENSs and selling them to Nike.eth? You think Nike's paying $1 million for that in the future?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. We got to give a shout out to our friends over at the Penelope's Country Club. I feel like they're doing some of the most inventive stuff with that today. They just launched kind of their entire subdomain initiative, and I know that they're kind of replacing it with their current ambassador program, with the goal being it ties your Discord identity, your Twitter identity, and your ENS identity all into one simple thing. So obviously there's simple applications like people can search for fellow PCCs on Twitter, but I think there's a lot of stuff that Carlini wrote up in the blog as far as, airdrops, other gamification with stuff like that. So I don't know. I think what Penelope's is doing with it is pretty cool. And it does seem like there's potential. And if big brands start to get ideas with this stuff, why wouldn't Nike, be willing to purchase an ENS like that down the road?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've seen Budweiser, I think, bought beer.eth. We've seen a few other larger transactions. And Yeah, I mean, if this stuff all takes off the way we hope it does, I think those will carry value. So, but there are a lot of squatters out there. There are people just grabbing them left and right.
It's crazy. They'll do like Nike Shocks 42 for like Jackie Robinson Day, like special, like stuff that I just don't foresee, but who knows?
Yeah, it's weird to think through because it doesn't quite work in the same way of squatting on a URL, right? Like it's not like if I own Nike.eth, is it as valuable if I own Nike.com? I mean, they're different application use cases there. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, did you guys read the blog post and the stuff that Penelope's is doing with their PCC stuff? It's pretty cool.
I didn't. I don't really read much, so fill me in.
Well, I mean, I basically already described it all, but
I didn't read it either. But they're an example of a team who I think is like actually doing a lot of stuff. And I love Carlini's like really inventive. What they did when Looks Rare first launched was really interesting. That they basically did some targeted wash trading to get the necessary volumes to get verified, to get people trading benefits on it right away, which was pretty cool. And they've done a lot of interesting stuff. And like, that's kind of an example of something that you guys know my cynicism around this space is like, that team is doing so much and so many projects that have just like announced, oh, we plan on doing a few things over the next 25 years at some point, are just like at multiples of what Penelope's is. And I don't know. It's hard for me to reconcile all of it. I know I'm a boomer, but it's tough.
No, we're going through the same shit with Knights right now. It's like our football team played this weekend. We got ownership in WagMe. We've done like the art on Steeds is dope, and it's just like our floor goes the wrong way, which means supporters are upset. And then, the common discussion of like, what has Bored Ape done besides airdrop people a fuck ton of money? So yeah, it's part of the game. It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out. Right now, it's a super short-term game. It's a fuck ton of speculation. There's crypto whales who buy something, and do you actually have a Moonbird, Pete?
I do.
Wow. And you're holding like an idiot, or what's your
like
deal?
An idiot? I mean, yeah. I signed up for a trip to the moon. Well, why would I get off, before we've even exited the Earth's atmosphere, Jack?
You're going to enter the nesting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you heard, but there might be stickers for people who nest. So how could I avoid that? Yes, I brilliantly won a raffle, and I'm still holding my Moonbird.
What? Like, okay.
What's your question, Jack?
No, it's just like, how does that thing continue to rise? But once again, like, everything in this space makes no fucking sense based off, Mike and I's previous 30-second conversation there. So I guess, like, who knows? But to me, it feels like, do you have like a rare one or anything?
I mean, I think it has some rare traits. We got the Moon Eyes, which are 2% flower. She's cute. She's really cute. A lot of these Moonbirds go hard, fire heads, cloud halos, squiggle halos. But this one, she's just a cutie.
She is cute. Look at you actively not accepting a $48,500 offer on this.
Oh,
does your wife know about this, Pete?
That's fun. That's fun. I know.
She does. I do give my wife, I would say, I don't know, every 6 hours, I like to give her a floor price update on the Moonbirds.
What are you at right now? What's the floor price?
I think they're over 20 right now, 20.1.
No, what? Oh my! Sell, Pete. Sell it.
No. This is no. Here's the thing. I was actually thinking about this, and I have so much dust in my OpenSea collection. It's like that's the shit I need to be going to sell. Like you let your runners run. There's a lot of
it ran.
It still runs.
It ran.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Jimmy Fallon joined our community.
No,
today.
He did not. No, he did not.
Jack, given to Moonbirds.
No. It's completely real. Jimmy Fallon is a big moonhead, guys. Please, I will not enjoy this FUD here. Jimmy Fallon logged on. He got into his MetaMask. He loaded it up with dirty fiat, converted it to Ethereum, and he purchased these two beautiful Moonbirds because he wanted to join our community.
Wait. I see your response there on the right. Can you bring that up for everyone to read, please?
Oh, yeah. I said, thank you, Jimmy, for bringing mainstream awareness to my bags. I mean, this beautiful art community.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hang on. Did you guys enter the raffle for the Moonbirds?
No, I
forgot to.
found
I thought
out
was
about
ending.
it last week when it was too late.
Wow. What do you mean? I feel like the Moonbird stuff had been building hype with Kevin Rose and
thought
Proof
I thought the raffle was closing like 12 hours later and just didn't get my shit together. I wanted to.
I wasn't paying attention to it at all, to be completely honest.
Wow. And you guys consider yourselves NFT thought leaders. Even I knew I had to enter into this raffle.
I also thought
you thought you were gonna flip it for like 7 ETH.
I didn't think I was gonna flip it for 7 ETH. Otherwise, I would have sold it at 7 ETH right when it opened up.
Did you even get a chance? It went from like 7 to 15 in like 14 minutes.
I will say, it makes it really easy not to paper hand something when the floor is rising like an ETH every 20 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. I have famously own a fifth of a CryptoPunk. I don't have any other blue chip assets. And like I said, I'd rather sell a bunch of dust in my account than this team that clearly people are very excited about. So I'm along for the Moonbird ride.
It is kind of bizarre. Like the NFT market seemed like simmer for a little, and then just out of nowhere, everyone had the liquidity to just fucking pump these to 20 Ethereum, and there's 10,000 of them, right?
Yeah. Although one thing, like all jokes aside, that I do think is happening a little bit in the NFT space is like the new meta is rotating into what people perceive as blue chips. Like those days of
You're
August,
just drinking the Kool-Aid, be honest.
There's no way people actually think this is worth what they're selling for. Like the best thing the whole Proof Collective has done is just put them on more allow lists to sell more nonsense that they can flip for higher. Like someone has to tangibly do something at some point.
You didn't even hear what I said. It doesn't even matter.
I agree with you, Pete.
Perceived blue chips.
But Pete, my counter that would be like, yeah, they're people want to rotate into blue chips. One, how did they pick this as a blue chip on day one? I know it's a big team. I know.
Yeah.
Two, rotating from like minting half an Ethereum and buying like 10 diddle squats is different than just finding 14 Ethereum. Like this is a big buy.
No, I guess the point I'm trying to make is there were large periods where you could literally mint anything. You could spin up a project and it would sell out and people would be able to flip. And people have now gotten burned enough on that they're like, maybe I should pay attention to the team and what they're trying to do. And you can make the argument that the pendulum swung too far in the direction, but people feel extremely confident in Kevin Rose. And that's the thesis I'm making, is that people are now willing, like, I'm not going to mess around with the random, cuddly koalas. And I want to try to bet on teams with massive names.
I think you should sell.
You think I should sell, Jack?
But I'm the worst NFT trader ever. So hey,
yeah, I'm gonna keep holding. I'm not locking it in a family vault per se, but there's still meat on this bone, Jack.
Jesus. Yeah.
My challenge is like the whole bet that's making the floor of this, I don't know, $70,000 or whatever it is what that Kevin Rose is up front. Like Kevin Rose, in the grand scheme of like people in the business world, people in startup world, people like is like not like the most meaningful person. So like if someone more meaningful comes, is their thing worth 50 ETH? Like what happens?
I mean, he does have 1.2 million Twitter followers, but I agree. Like, what's this put the market cap at? 10,000.
You're gonna make me do math. 20 ETH times 10,000 items right now.
Oh my god! Like out of it's bizarre.
But I mean, Mike, just seeing Jimmy Fallon join the team, I mean, that has to move it for you, right? It's like when Tyrese Halliburton bought his first Top Shot moment. It just lights a fire underneath you.
By the way, I see the comments. Like I saw, obviously people want to relate this back to Top Shot. So I saw Pump say, and I would just address it.
Kevin Rose or Roham?
Pump said, can I ask a sincere question? Why repeat about not selling his Moonbird when Jack and MBL bought and held the same or more moments? Because I think we learned our fucking lesson. I think that's my takeaway from this is like, yeah, when everything's pumping, you drink the Kool-Aid, you come on the show, you tell people why you're not selling something that you just got that's worth $60,000. And sometimes with Bored Apes, there was never a good time to sell. You were always wrong. The majority of these things, though, there was a reason. So,
this is Greg says half of the people who bought one of the Moonbirds likely were not alive when Kevin Rose was really popular. You want to know why I can stand Kevin Rose? Back when I was in college, I used a site called Google Reader, and it's basically an aggregator for sites that would notify you. Like I would have friends who would have blogs and they'd only post once a month. You want me to go check that blog every day to see if they have a new post? No, you subscribe to it in your reader. You get notified when they have the post. Google Reader shuttered that. And I was lost, wandering through the desert, looking for a similar service. And there was Kevin Rose and Dig Reader there for me to pick up the pieces. He then did abandon it, and now I have to use Feedly. But the point stands. I've been in on the ground floor of Kevin Rose projects.
So all right, why? What are they faking, promising that is going to be the utility? This nesting feature and sweatshirts.
Well, I don't think they're faking anything. I mean,
no. Like, what do they say? What do they say that they're gonna do? Like, at least Doodles has done a fuck ton of shit, like in their past, and are promising things in the future. So what has been? I haven't followed it close enough. What is Moonbird's like big thing?
I mean, they haven't promised anything other than that they're gonna have this nesting with specific rewards based on how long you hold stuff. That's all they've said. I bet if you asked Kevin Rose heart to heart, do you think you would have a 20th floor after 3 or 4 days? He would not have thought that. My guess is they're shitting their pants on what they have to deliver relative to this floor right now.
There's literally nothing they can deliver to justify this. That's it. That's like my final comment.
But the final comment, you can apply that logic to literally any JPEG, moving or not. Right? Like none of this stuff.
Unless there's like an existing corollary of it that gives like some semblance of a reason or rationale for it, other than like there's not even a plan here. Like I don't know what the plan is. They're going to incentivize you not to sell in unclear ways.
Yes, please don't question Kevin Rose's bona fides here. This is the cover driving.
Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I just think it's just a slippery slope argument because all of this is absurd and a house of cards. So I don't know why it's any different.
No, but some of it has some rationale. And like not everyone's going to agree with it, but like at this point, at least, Bored Apes has independent VC valuation. They've got their token. They've got like an affiliation with Adidas. They've got like a bunch of other shit. They've got something supporting their valuation. How they got there, you guys know my views on that. God knows. But at least they have something now. Is the idea that like we actually think this is going to get somewhere, or we're like we all know like truth serum to everyone, like no one has any idea what's going on. This just seems to be the latest pump. So let's just play hot potato one more time. Like I think we all know the actual answer here. I don't know why we're pretending.
You don't have to pretend.
No, I don't think you're. I don't think we all do know, Mike. Like I genuinely think other people do believe.
You think there's someone out there who thinks that the value that will come of owning one of 10,000 of these, I don't care about the art, like calling it a pixelated owl diminishes from it, is worth $70,000.
Yes.
You think there are people who genuinely think so? Their goal would be to own it for $70,000, not with the plan of selling it for $100,000 in 2 weeks.
I'll show you all the people that think it's worth
part of the value,
$70,000, Mike. I'll keep coming.
Do they think it's worth $70,000, or they think they're trying to sell it for more next week? And I think that's.
But that's okay. Well, time out. That's part of the value. No, is that you could get liquidity from a bunch of other idiots in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, they one of the Bored Ape guys, I think Tropo, I think is his name. He bought a couple earlier today. I think he front ran the Jimmy Fallon announcement, bought a couple for 20, flipped them right for 24 a couple hours later. Obviously, traders are getting in on the mix of
I
this.
thought I thought what's his name is the flipper who has 45 apes but flips for like 0.2 ETH.
Franklin.
No, I mean, look at the Azukis that were before, and I wish Andy was here for this conversation because he could speak far more intelligently on this stuff. But the reason I think people got so excited about the Azukis was their team, and the team had a much more proven track record, a way better resume than a lot of the projects, and people got excited about what that could mean. And that's what I'm talking about, the overcorrection of people rotating out of these dusty projects and being like, oh, what could this team actually do at scale? Obviously, it's still pie in the sky. There's so much execution risk, but these are the bets people are now willing to make in the space. And so people see Kevin Rose, they trust him implicitly, and they're making big bets, whether how dumb that is or not, accordingly.
So my question, as it always is do they care the team is good, or do they think that everyone saying the team is good means they can buy it for 20 and sell it for 25? They don't actually say the team is so good, therefore this is worth 70,000.
Okay, I'll give you, Mike, I think to put it, I feel like I'm the middle ground here between your line of thinking in the chat. Pete's in it, he's on the moon already, so he's in a different chat.
Yeah, Floor's gonna hit 21 by the time we're into this segment. Keep going.
So Mike, I saw a really good thread, I'm sure you saw it as well, about how NFTs have essentially become the pre-seed round / just a way to gain investors without whatever the fuck it's called.
Without actually owning any of the equity, which is a huge part of participating in a seed round.
Well, see, that's where I think you could disagree, right? So let's use an example. Let's say Kevin Rose was starting a company. None of us would be able to invest. And another thing is, by the time we were able to invest, there would be millions of outstanding shares. In theory, you could say, okay, there's 1,000 A-level shares, there's 10,000 B-level shares. And so if you extrapolate it out, if he builds this billion-dollar company, then you were an early investor in it. I think that maybe there's something there.
Okay, so let's go with the logical argument you're trying to make today.
And you have instant liquidity, right? Which is a huge part of what NFTs is, as opposed to a private seed round.
Well, one of them is equity ownership. One of them is owning unclear what.
Well, it's not unclear, right? Like if they are,
it is unclear. You don't get any royalties if you own an NFT.
Well, if you get coin that's value, it's a completely new and different game as opposed to traditionally, right? Like dividends is a thing. So ApeCoin was like a dividend, right, of sorts. So that is, in theory, once again, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate to a degree, but I at least could say maybe this is how we're thinking.
Okay, so let's play the devil's advocate. So here we are using the floor values. I don't know, I think the market cap of Mooncaps using floor values, which is understating the reality here, is something in the neighborhood of $700 million. Okay, so now we are saying this company, which we don't even know what they do, what they're going to do in the future, we're assigning a value today of $700 million because of two things. One, Kevin Rose is one of the founding members, and two, because of nesting. And that's the conclusion.
Stickers. We might get stickers.
I thought there was one trait that got you like hoodies. No,
I do. Yeah, I think if you have a hoodie, you're going to get a hoodie.
So Mike, in this scenario where I'm with you, that's why I'm banging on the drum for Pete to sell. Yes,
I'm not saying I think selling is the right idea. I just think we're all like, I think
maybe it's a terrible valuation.
Genuinely worth this much doesn't actually think that. They just.
But what if he builds a $7 billion company out of it? Like what?
I think this is a horribly overpriced way to get access to a company that's not built but may become worth $7 billion. Is what I would say, which comes back to the idea of why is it worth this much?
No, I mean, again, I don't have grand illusions of some company Kevin is going to build. But if you had to ask me right now, an asset to put money into that I think would appreciate in value the most over the next month, 2 months, I'll put it in Moonbirds. Like that. So to think about it in that frame of reference, I mean, I'm just playing the market right now, and there's still a lot of froth for these, and they haven't even.
I'm not saying it's not going to go up in value, but I think, like, again, it always comes back to, like, everyone makes it seem like this makes sense, and it absolutely does not.
None of this has made sense. I mean, Bale's buying John Morant for $35,000 made no sense. Like none of it makes sense.
Then like global collectibles don't make sense. Like
they don't.
That's fine, but there's
at
least precedent for that.
Well, no, the precedent was created, but the most valuable card in the world was put in bike spokes. Like it only became valuable once we said it. In theory, it's quite literally a piece of cardboard with a little man printed on it.
So this goes back to when I said Top Shot. Top Shot's now like over gamified. I don't think any amount of company that someone can promise, or game someone can promise, or coins you can drop from can justify some of the prices we're seeing right now. If you want to go back to like it just being art or collectible, where there's no fundamental value tied to it, like that's one discussion. You can't. I can't say like Picasso's not worth a certain amount of money because someone wants to pay that. But if you're buying Moonbirds on the promise of a potential $7 billion company, that's like a really different conversation. And I don't think that makes sense.
Yes, I don't think it makes sense either. However, I have a Moonbird. I love it.
All right. So Pete, is there a price you would sell at or not?
I don't have a number in mind. But I think there is still a lot of potential within this NFT environment based on other valuations of projects that I think Moonbirds can go up still a decent amount.
Where's it rank right now? It's got to be like, I know Mutants hit 28 or something today.
I think they hit 30 today.
Did they hit 30?
Yeah. What's it? Bored Apes are like what? 113?
No, 118 right now.
118? Yeah.
Like, but what? So it's Bored Apes, Punks, Mutants, like, dude, I guess Clonex and what's it called? Azuki's are right there. Like, Moonbirds is already what, like 5th in the rankings, 6th?
Yeah, it's probably up there. We were talking about, where were we talking about it? Was it last week with Andy? We're talking about the supply with, what was the other one? Artifact or Clonex. With some of those based on the supply might have a bigger market cap.
Right.
But I think to me also what kind of illustrates both the absurdity of all of this and why it probably doesn't matter. It's like you see the Bored Ape people get so defensive. First it was Azuki's and now it's Moonbirds and they say their shit while they have these things as their profile pictures saying like the art in the community isn't good. Like the epitome of a pot calling a kettle black. So it's just like, to me, you could stare at 120 ETH for a Bored Ape, but then laugh at why a Moonbird's 20 ETH. Like this is all stupid. A clown economy. So relative to Bored Apes, I don't know why Moonbirds can't be worth more.
I'm super comfortable with that conclusion that this is a clown economy. There's a way to trade it and be profitable trading it. But like, I definitely fight the person who sits here and say Moonbirds are legitimately worth $70,000 today based on what we know.
Yeah, I think, would I go buy a Moonbird at this valuation? And would I go drain my savings account to buy it? No. But do I think that my Moonbird
isn't that when you're supposed to sell? Isn't that what you guys taught me on this show? If you wouldn't buy it at that price, you should sell it.
I don't think that's relevant because it's become such an outsized number that I would never go liquidate other assets to purchase another one.
I mean, that's what I said. That's what I said, months ago was like, I still like, I'm so deep in this, but like, I literally could not rationally purchase like a doodle for $30,000 US. Like, I just couldn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So the chat is NFT heavy today, which I actually love. It's rare we get what seems like that.
Well, we've alienated all the basketball fans at this point.
I'm curious what their biggest ETH purchase is each. Like, because they've ended up with some crazy bags, but like, and we don't want to look in like other people's pockets, so it's not intended to be like that. But like, what is the most, like, Pete? What's the most ETH you've spent that you're comfortable with?
On my punk.
Yeah,
on
your punk. Yeah.
That was
but that was
really,
also not by yourself though, right? That was
no. My biggest purchase was that punk. I think I shipped Levitan 6 ETH. I think that was the most that I've ever actually spent on an NFT.
60, yeah. Mike, what about you?
I definitely had a Top Shot moment. I haven't got like that. That's been my biggest purchase. I bought the Giannis Cosmic jersey for $8,000. I bought the.
That's my point. That's kind of my point. Is like that's 2.5 Ethereum or 4 maybe at the time. Like that's not.
Well, yeah, because I think buying any of this shit for crazy amounts of money is dumb because I don't think it's worth that much.
Right. Yeah, and I think that let's see, goes to.
But Mike, you bought those stuff not to take those to the grave with you, but because you thought they could go up in value.
Some of them are like collectible shit. Like, I don't know. I've got like shit all like I've got like a fucking like Babe Ruth little like figurine over there.
No. I know. I'm talking about Top Shot moments. So you didn't buy those to go to the grave with those.
Some of them, I'm more of like a hobbyist than you think I am. If I like bought all these with the pure intention of selling it, and also have more like I guess financial security than the need to sell for like a few $1,000 of profit. Like that just kind of is.
Well, to me, like your financial stability more just adjusts your time horizon. You know, you hear a lot of people say like if selling this would meaningfully change your life, then obviously you should be doing that. My guess is that you don't need to sell any one specific of your Top Shot moments to change your life, and it allows you to play a much longer game. My guess is you view Top Shot as still having a really promising long term that you're willing to wait out because of the financial upside.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of benefits that come along with having a big account. It's been interesting. I get to do a lot of interesting shit because there's a lot of benefits. It's interesting to own them. I'm a huge sports fan. It's fun. I think obviously as the value goes up, it signals that it like means more in society. It's a more meaningful thing to hold a valuable asset. The same way no one gave a shit if you owned a Bored Ape when it was 0.2 ETH. And now if you own a Bored Ape, you could like, it's like a cool thing. You're like a trendy person. Your high school friends want to talk to you about it.
Well, you can like propose to your girlfriend and go viral.
The makeout video in the reply is too good. Hey, Plunge. And so, like, you know, if it goes up in value, a good part of like the joy of that isn't like, okay, now I'm going to sell it. It's like I'm now holding things that more people care about. That's like a signal of that.
But if
I agree with that.
But let's just say, as a thought experiment, Mike, if Top Shot thought experiment, they lost their NBA license overnight. The news came out. They broke terms of service somehow. NBA was able to back out.
Somehow, I feel like they got to be like getting close.
So my question is, how would you feel both about your existing moments and investing in the platform long term? Like, is the NBA license ultimately the thing that holds it all up for you?
Yes, but losing the license in the future doesn't mean these were not licensed collectibles. In the same way, if you've got some like defunct card company from like a 1940 card, it's still like a licensed MLB collectible. And you know, I went and I bought out like MLB champion NFTs because I think that's an interesting story. They lost the license. I think that's like an interesting part of like sports NFT history that I don't know, was first licensed sports NFT. I like that kind of story. I think that's interesting from a collector standpoint. And so if they went out and lost the license, it would be like obviously a different company, but I don't know if that changes like my views on my existing assets. It changes them in the sense that like Dapper itself is going to stop supporting and promoting it. And so it probably changes it from that perspective, but like the price will catch up real quick to that. It's not going to like be like now I should sell.
Yeah.
I like that question, Pete. What could Moonbirds reasonably do for you that would convince you that hodling is the right decision?
I don't know. I guess I have to keep spelling this out for everyone. I am holding my Moonbird because I think the price is going to continue to go up in a way where if I were to sell it now, I believe I would massively regret it. And
do you think that they're in danger of actually coming up with a plan that will kill the value of it?
of course, there's execution risk with. I mean, Yuga Labs is the biggest, team in the space right now, and I still think there's huge execution risk with them. All it takes is one big botch of a thing, and everyone's chasing their way down to a much, much lower valuation. So I'm purely approaching this from a trader mentality right now, and I truly think it would be a very dumb time to sell a Moonbird if it doesn't change the quality of your life right now. I would never begrudge. There's guys in NGMI who have sold their Moonbirds. I think it's a killer sale. You should definitely take that money. For me, the calculus, the bet I'm making is that I would be selling low right now.
So John Thompson says, what does Jack think a fair price for Tesla stock is? I actually think this is a good question to redirect to Mike. Mike, the stock market used to trade on revenues and, quarterly earnings, and it still moves on that, obviously. But a lot of it is just speculation on way future stuff, all the tech stocks. Are you invested in that type of stuff?
I would say generally not if I'm picking like individual names, but it depends on it. And like, I think buying Tesla is a bit of a different bet than like buying a Moonbird, if that's what we're trying to bridge between. Like
I mean, yes, to a degree, but I think John's point is like, it's very clear that Tesla stock shouldn't be worth that today based on what they do, and so the price represents.
Yeah, but like at least you can say whether you believe it is one thing that if they can do a few things on the battery side of things, if they can ramp up their car.
Couldn't you say that about?
No. Fill in the blanks
the point.
What does Moonbirds actually plan on doing? If you can fill in the blanks,
but it's all just speculation.
There, that would be. Let's have that.
It's all just speculation, though.
No, because like Tesla's come out and said like these are plans. We're building this here. Here are like what we hope.
Okay,
to do
all right.
in the
So
future.
then does Bored Ape price make more sense to you because they've announced
now? Okay, so first I think like from a fundamental value standpoint, it's probably still kind of high. But now what's happened around it, the fact that like Neymar's in a Bored Apes sweatshirt, that they've got like their ape coin, they're doing some land thing, which is going to be, I mean, we'll have a full conversation about that where Andy's going to tell me that like Ape Land is a steal at 40 ETH for 200,000, and I just don't get it because I'm too much of a boomer. Can't wait for that conversation.
No, I think you're you're a traditionalist. I don't want to call you a boomer, but I think I don't think you're necessarily going to be wrong or right, and I have no clue how it plays out. But I think you're not considering like it's all speculation. Like even
it's financial speculation.
You think it's wrong? You think it's the wrong valuation?
I don't think it's wrong or right. It's like meme coins, and I think that what I dislike about it is that I feel like what everyone thinks deep down is, this is fucking meme coins, and yet there are people saying like, oh, you just don't get NFTs, and it's like, okay, like if everyone says that and it goes up in price, great, we'll all keep saying that, but like I don't think anyone actually believes that.
Well, let's talk about.
They do. That I can promise you is they do.
I mean, when we talk about execution risk, right? And teams promising on stuff and not delivering. I mean, we have to talk about it within the frame of reference of Top Shot, which, I mean, it was a while ago. We heard the valuation. I think at the time it was a $6 billion valuation that they were raising at. I mean, just incredible bullishness across the space. They kicked off everything. Us talking about Moonbirds in a way started with what Top Shot did last January. And before that, even for some of you. And now we see day after day, week after week of Top Shot having massive execution risk. And like all the fundamentals are there. The fundamentals haven't changed. We don't have to go through them all again. But I do think this idea of promises and actually being able to execute and deliver on them is an important conversation to have. So like, Mike, how does that make you feel when Top Shot continues to fumble a lot of this execution?
It makes me feel like execution risk is a huge risk, which makes me then say, why do we feel like Moonbirds make sense at $70,000 based on the potential of it being a $7 billion company? And so, I don't know. Yeah, like, I mean, this is why I bought Punks in the first place. It's like, this is like no risk. It kind of is what it is. It's a very simple and straightforward story. If the space grows overall, I expect Punks to do well. And like, that's a pretty straightforward.
And there ended up being massive execution risk, even with the punks and the Larva Labs team. It didn't end up being
I agree with what you're saying. I try and minimize this kind of shit, which is like why I gravitate towards Top Shot, which to me is like a known commodity. It exists in the real world, and this is just trying to improve upon that concept with whatever else they're going to do with sports cards. But it's sports cards at the end of the day. That's at the core of it. It's an existing market. I'm trying, as I put serious capital behind anything, look and say, what are the risks here? Can we actually identify the risks? Are they lower risk than a lot of the other things in the same space and sector? And I haven't like broadened my horizons that much beyond some like nonsense degen trading and flipping, but like my biggest bags by far are punks, Top Shot, and then like MLB Champions is like a small bag next to those, but like probably that and like a few other small things. But I try not to buy shit that I can't possibly explain to someone why I'm paying $70,000 for it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not into NFTs. You're into
I think NFTs
are
fine. It's a really interesting and useful technology. I don't think there's...
Well, that's the difference, though. I think you're into blockchain, not necessarily NFTs or this iteration of NFTs.
No, I think NFTs can be fine. I think there's a lot of potential in them. I don't think it makes sense that like random collection, Azuki, doodles, moonbirds, whatever else, like Bored Apes, are just like, oh, this is suddenly worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, like US dollars, hundreds of thousands of US. There's like very, very, very few things in the world that are worth as much money as these things are all trading for. And like a new one comes out every 3 weeks.
Houses.
You mean houses that you like live in?
Well,
that kind of house?
Well, I think too, and I mean, Andy had a tweet about this a couple days ago too, and you can we mentioned punks, we mentioned Top Shots, like all these things with centralized execution risk. And we joked about it with Andy and Fractional and the Logan Paul stuff about, what the promise of decentralized stuff is in removing a lot of this execution risk. And I know right now everyone talking about there's the punk 6529 who's building an open free metaverse right now too that's completely decentralized. And I think Andy's tweet, I can't find it right now, but it was something about being, I think, a little disappointed that so much has centered around centralized entities driving these products. We're reliant on them, and it's kind of just back to a lot of Web 2 stuff just dressed up within Web 3. And so I think a lot of us have felt with various projects getting burned by the centralized execution risk with all this stuff, which isn't really the ethos and the promise of what crypto could be. And yet you can play the counter argument, which is it's really hard to spin up and scale stuff in a decentralized way. You can look at DAOs and how hard it is to execute that. So I'm not saying there's a perfect answer to it, but man, we continue to see how hard it is for teams to deliver what people now demand. Because of the run-ups with Top Shot in February, because of the NFT bull market over the summer, people are now just demanding teams poking it, do something, win utility, win price move, win. I mean, you said it, Jack. You feel it with the degen stuff. Like, it's hard for teams just to build right now because everyone only cares if the price goes up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the price goes up and everyone funnels onto that project because everyone wants to back a winner. It's like, oh, the thing I'm backing, I have all these, isn't doing anything. I'd rather rotate out of that and let into the thing that's running. And I think that's what's happening right now.
Right. That's what I guess like makes me like come on to all this shit. Like what actually leads to value going up is literally like the right like 12 Twitter accounts tweeting about something, not like actually anything that's going on. The utility that everyone's clamoring for and pretending they care about is all just like this song and dance. And then the only response you get isn't like anything logical, anything that makes sense. It's, oh, you just don't get it.
No, I mean, Mike, I don't think moonbirds are curing cancer or saving the world.
I'm not saying you do. I mean, like the space at large just feels very disingenuous to me. Where it feels like everyone is pretending
the whole thing. That's what Levitan came on the podcast or came on this and was just like, guys, like cut it out. It's about money. And I think you even did it a little bit today where you're like, you're underestimating how much of a collector I am. Yes, you are, Mike. but like the majority, like the only reason you're so interested about it is because of the price of Top Shot. Like, there's just no way you wouldn't host a weekly show. You wouldn't you wouldn't tweet threat. Like, it's all related to the money.
I mean, the money is obviously like a factor, of course.
No. It's the factor. I think that's what you're not acknowledging. It's the only main factor. It's none of the
yeah,
others.
I mean, I agree with that in concept, but again, I'll have to bring you to my house at some point. Like I have like 40 bobbleheads and like a statue.
But how much are they worth?
I don't know. I don't check. I'm not getting rid of them. I don't know. Some of them they're probably worth like a few.
And you don't talk about them, and you don't actually like care to share about.
You talk about them. There's literally an article that came out that highlighted it like last week.
I just think I collect stuff, physical cards. I think there's cool stuff to have in your collection, but like none of it would matter unless it was actually about the money in collectibles.
I guess, but like, do you own cards that you wouldn't sell?
No. And I have cards that are in my personal collection. And you asked me, and the reason why the answer is no is because we were talking about my CP3 Cosmic, and I was like, that's the last moment I would ever sell. But if you offered me
hang on,
a ridiculous price, like
that actually reminds me. Did I hear MBL was interested in our CP3 Cosmic that we own with Brian?
He was.
But not anymore. Yes, I just got the CP3 Cosmic right now. I just got a DM about it. Let's go.
Are you serious? How much?
I traded a Kawhi Cosmic.
What are the floors on those? Not that floor price.
So like they're roughly the same, but like honestly, the floors on Cosmics like aren't representative of market price at all right now. So that's why I'm trying to swap a Cosmic for a Cosmic, because I think all the Cosmics are overinflated right now according to floor price, because no one's buying them at the floors.
Yeah.
So some people were like, "Oh, you could just give me like a bunch of like Top Shot debuts coming up to the floor value," and I was like, "But that's like just basically buying it for the price that it's listed right now, and I don't think that's what it's actually worth." So I finally found someone who would do a swap with me, and now we're good. The chase is finished. It's been a long 48-hour chase. I harassed Jack and about 30 other people.
We went and looked up. You know what? I just logged into Top Shot. I had 3 notifications, and Mr. Thin Card gifted me 3 Fred Van Vliets in the past 12 hours. I thought this bit had died. Thank you, Thin Card. My FVV bags continue to get heavier here. Sorry, I got us distracted with the CP3 sale and stuff. I think there is just ultimately, Mike, a little bit of a disconnect about it. I think when you see, like, say with the Azukis and the Bored Apes and the cope with stuff, like at the end of the day, everyone's defending their own bags, and you can poke the same holes in the intrinsic value of all of this stuff. And it seems like everyone is just arguing in their own self-interest at the end of the day.
Sure. I'm very comfortable with that argument. I'm not comfortable with the, "Oh, Mike, you don't understand the power of the technology," or some shit.
No, I don't think that's it.
I know, but like if you read through the chat, like a decent number of people are like, "Oh, you just don't get it." And I think like I get there's like financial profit opportunity, and that's exciting, but I don't really buy that any more than, I don't know, 5 or 10% of market participants are doing much outside of just buying something with the intention of selling it 2 weeks later.
I think that's the majority.
Right.
I think that's the majority.
Okay, but you just said that, but then you're saying that your collection or others.
Yeah, because what I'm a huge sports fan. That's like a big part of my identity. I have a drawer dedicated to jerseys. Great. I have a bunch of other sports collectibles well before NFTs existed. This makes sense and is consistent with what I've done the rest of my life. I can assure you 90% of NFT buyers do not collect pixelated pictures of owls and like whatever associated dividends come along with that. This is a new thing that people are buying. It's not the same.
Well, they trade stocks. People are in stocks that receive dividends.
Stocks.
Yes, they are. These are 100% a stock.
Yeah, and the thing too, and Pump's referencing this, and part of why Bored Apes have such a massive valuation now is through their airdrops, whether that was the mutants in the land or whatever. Like, they continue to give these stimmies.
All right, but let's talk about like Steeds. You guys just dropped Steeds. Has that been
hold on, real quick? real quick, the
Yeah.
Tony Marquis comment needs to be brought to light. That's golden.
Which one?
I have a Kevin Rose jersey. All right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay, so like the Knights of Degen dropped steeds. Are the Knights of Degen being heralded as just like handing out ETH to everyone? No, because I don't know. Like, is the market paying? For
That's not a
steeds
fair
right now?
comparable because it's always going to trade relative to what the main.
All right, but
NFT
Jack, like, what are the
is.
steeds like trading for now? Again, like much. I don't know. What's
0.1, yeah.
Like I guess is the collective steeds plus knights worth more than knights were worth before steeds dropped?
No.
By like any meaningful amount or like at all?
Like in our plans or just on floor price?
Yeah, just floor price.
No.
I guess like that's what it comes down to. Like, did Bored Apes drop money, or like the market just decided what they dropped is now worth money?
Right. Well, you have to think about it this way, Mike. When a price, and this is what happened with Proof Collective and why they decided they wanted to launch the project, because the floor to get in is 90 ETH. If you want to get into Bored Apes, it's 118. So they realized that there is a demand, a literal demand for more people to get into that community. And they release a project that's going to inevitably have a smaller price point that makes it more accessible for people to join. Same with Jack. Are there people who have bought steeds that couldn't afford Knights?
Yes, not as many as we would like, though.
Please but that's part of the thesis too, right?
Yeah.
Or at least
that's actually exactly what our thesis was, and we're like playing this weird. I kind of think we're more like I think of us, the team may disagree, of like a Web 2 company using Web 3 technology, and so we're going to work in like. I don't think we'll be 130 Ethereum one day. I don't think that's ever the goal, really. So the goal is like get more people in. And for some people, when the floor got up to 0.8 and 0.5 Ethereum, they were like, we can't afford that, right? So the idea was let more people into the ecosystem, and we'll do that with other characters as well. But that's a supply demand thing.
Let's change subjects here. I don't want to go around in circles too much, and I think we should probably keep this on pause a little bit to get Andy's thoughts too next week. But I do want to bring this up, and maybe it is tangentially related to everything we're talking about. But NBA NFT, I believe was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
They went live?
Yeah, so they have their announcement here. And Mike, I saw you were tweeting about it. Have you been up to tabs with what's going on with this?
No. Okay, so here's what I know. This account, we talked about their first couple of tweets that were deleted. I don't know what the hell's going on. I joined the Discord. If you were one of the first 10,000 people in the Discord, you got a red name and an OG tag, similar to the Budweiser thing, if anyone's in that scene. And there's been very little news since then, except that you could submit, I think, your Ethereum wallet address to get on an allow list to be able to mint an NFT. And now, as we're seeing here, they are now releasing this NFT, and they are saying there's 14 hours until the allow list can mint, and they gave a little preview of the NFTs. I don't know anything else. I do know in their Discord, they did say that like they're carving out some of these NFTs for Top Shot owners. So it seems very weird overall. I don't know. Like, are they affiliated with Top Shot? Are they not? Is it a partnership? Is it just like a mutual understanding? Is there some, collaboration here? I really have no idea what the hell is going on.
It is very weird, right? I mean, where these interests and incentives align relative to the NBA and Top Shot, who's behind this?
I don't know who's behind this. The Twitter account had an interesting kind of opening to it. What I like about it is it seems like they're going to be far more tied into like actual NBA. Hopefully it'll bridge the gap between average NBA fan and NFTs, which I think it'll be great to see more kind of normie people in NFTs.
Isn't that what Top Shot was supposed to do?
Yeah, and I think that was the topic of my thread. I think that they've kind of caved to an NFT collectors' demands, which is basically like, how can we make it seem like everyone's making a ton of money here, and then the the actual NFT is incidental.
I thought that was what Ballers was supposed to be, and that hasn't worked out.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of people talking about the art too, which is not great, I believe is how I would categorize it.
Agreed. I think it was Jokic who has a pretty funny one.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know how you would categorize this kind of art, like hyper realist. I don't know.
So Mike, I assume you have no interest in these, right? In theory?
My genuine thought is I have more interest in this than Moonbirds.
Mike,
I'm not allowed to say that because we've all been wooed into the concept that Moonbirds are worth $70,000. But like, I'm a basketball fan. I don't know what the hell Moonbirds is bringing to the table. Why would I want Moonbirds over this?
Hang on, Mike. All right, I gotta put you to the test on this. You get this Jokic, whatever the fuck this is, or one Moonbird. What do you take?
Well, in the same way that I don't care what the Moonbird looks like because it's a bet on the team and I don't know what the team is doing. I don't care what the Jokic looks like. I think that at some point this will potentially be some NBA thing. So I'll take the Jokic.
No!
Oh my God, Mike. Michael, stop that.
Why do you want a Moonbird over a Jokic?
$70,000 fucking dollars.
Well, obviously, if I could just take the Moonbird at current value, I assume we're saying all else equal, like not just
no.
You're saying, would I want rather 70,000 or something like it's going to be minted for free tomorrow? Of course, I'd rather 70,000.
Would you rather this Jokic NFT or the Moonbird? Given the current,
if that's the actual question, I'd rather the Moonbird. I thought we were on like level.
Yes!
Okay.
Of course,
right.
I thought it was a more reasonable question.
So, all right, serious question then. Would you take your Moonbird, sell it immediately, and then mint
rotate into Jokic?
No, I believe I'm on the allow list for this, and like I'm not sure if I'm going to get this. I think I probably will because it's just like something, and like NBA, and like if it goes somewhere to NBA, that's kind of fun and interesting. But no, I wouldn't sell a Moonbird for $70,000 and pump into this project without knowing more.
Okay. How about this, Mike? Do you think there's a world where that Jokic NFT is more valuable than a Moonbird one day? Because I do. I actually do.
I don't know. I don't know enough about like how many of the Jokic's are there. Is this like the first of many? I don't know enough to answer that question, to be honest.
I'll make bets.
Where that Jokic is worth more than like Moonbirds in general. Like, yeah, I think there's going to be that world because there's going to be 5,000 like former tech founders who drop the next version of Moonbirds, and at some point, not all of these can have a $70,000 floor. And
like, I think that Jokic NFT one day could be worth $1, and I think that Moonbirds could one day. It could be in a very long time. I think one day Moonbirds could be worth $0. Like, do you not? Like, Pete, I know you're holding because you think it's going to go up, but like, yeah.
No, I mean. So I literally know nothing about this project, but if Moonbirds are worth $0, then you're going to have to pay people $1,000 to get that Jokic out of your account. Like, I mean, everything in the NFT space has cratered to such a staggering degree. Like, there is a Lindy effect to a lot of this stuff. In the same way, Bored Apes going to 0 would be absolutely awful for the space.
It would. But like who would come out of it is the question. And then, so let's say everything did crash to 0, right? And so people weren't drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And it was, and then maybe you would look at it and be like, well, at least they have the NBA license. So that's why it's worth.
Well,
like maybe
I feel like you can make that argument better with actual Top Shot moments because those are at least like, I mean, like this art is awful. At least like a Top Shot moment looks cool. Like I have no faith in these, but I also know nothing about them other than what I just saw tonight.
Yeah, they look like absolute shit. I posted that earlier. They're horrible. I don't understand what the angle is there. Like, why wouldn't they at least make them look not like shit? But I don't know anything about it. I can't speak to this. I might mint one if it's like dirt cheap just to get involved. But like, as you guys have probably gathered throughout this conversation, I don't like to buy shit that I don't understand why it's worth something. So I'd like to learn a bit more.
Ryan, do you want to see everything I own? Do you think I'm a collector of fine art? You want me to show you?
This is gonna be rich.
You want me to show you, Ryan? Actually, let me go in my hidden folder. This is where the good stuff is. Some of these are airdrops that I can't even take credit for. Let's find some of that. I minted these. L by Reza Milani. These are actually fine as far as art. That's fine. I minted a bunch of these zombie friends. I minted Exohape. These are about the ugliest things I've ever seen. I minted this Chili Blocks. Oh, I do have all my Owners Club cards in here.
I have to say the art on these isn't like as horrible as I was expecting.
I minted Woodles.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Wait. The one on the right is excessive.
I mean, it's pretty good. I minted these Among Us. These were when what was the Netflix show?
No, that was Among Us. That was
Among Us.
Squid Game.
Squid Games. Let's see here. Don't know what this is. That was an airdrop. TOC. Oh, I minted Shroot Loots, and then I think they switched to Polygon. So those were defective.
Right.
Dragonfly. Someone airdropped me this. I did not buy that Desperate Ape Wife. Quilts on Chain. I actually like this art. I actually was sad the day I put that in my hidden because it's kind of a vibe. Brian, the point I'm trying to make is you think I'm only.
Wait, can we see your not hidden folder?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here. My beautiful Moonbird.
I think your Moonbird is the art's nice on it. Actually,
Mike's coming around on the Moonbirds.
The art's nice on the Moonbird.
Jokic.
The eyes are a nice color. The little flower, it's nice.
I've only minted a couple things in the past month. One's a pixelated owl and one's my retirement plan. These steeds and these Dougs here. I got my hot Dougs. I have a Boss Beauty airdrop. I have my Penelope rewards.
Wait, that hot Doug, the MJ jersey one's kind of cool.
Do you have a Doug yet, MBO?
No.
You need to get a Doug.
All right.
It's Dangy, Deposit Kingdom, guys. Chenko put that project together. I got a GI Toad derivative of my precious the Tubby Cats, crypto Twitter's infatuation until they moved on to Miladies. Lots of purrs. I have my honorary Doug.
Oh, that's
Man's
sweet.
Doug. That should probably go over to the man's
Who's
account.
the hot dog creator? Like, who's behind hot dogs?
That's the Deposit Kingdom. That's Dangy and Chenko and his buddy Hopper. We got Tig, who's their community guy.
Nice.
I have Honeys, Mike. Do you think this is real art?
I mean,
Eyes of Fashion.
It's something.
I mean, come
I like
on,
the
Mike.
planet earring.
Mike, my eyes are up here, buddy. Eyes of Fashion, a nice female-led team there. Mochi. This was one of my worst buys in recent memory. There was some froth at the time. I bought this for 0.35 at the time, and these are now 0.042. This is a tax harvest you're looking at right here, guys.
Yeah. Some hits, some misses.
The art's great. I'm going to keep going, though, until you're satisfied with my count. Okay, I bought this Galactic guy because I saw someone ask on Twitter once.
Whoa.
What?
NBA Top Shot email. Congrats. If you're receiving this, it means you're eligible to receive an NFT from the NBA and NBA PA's new The Association project.
Wow, I didn't get that email. I must not be on the
yikes
exclusive
Is
list.
that what we were just talking about or no?
No, yeah. I was telling you a story about my Galactic guy.
No. I'm talking. Is that what the Jokic thing is?
Mike, this is a monster. This was supposed to be the Chinese version of Bored Apes at one point, was the story I was told. I don't think that ended up coming to fruition. This was a gift that the Club MGMI guys gave me for Christmas. This is Dangy photoshopped onto a Lululemon.
That's fantastic.
Little Lemons. Lemons have been good. We got MFers. MFers doing good.
Nice.
Got my Galactic Apes, which honestly, let's just say it, the monkeys are cuter than the owls.
Monkeys are cute.
They were cute. I got my kittens.
Kittens
companions.
are good.
I have a birth
block.
how
are the goons?
The goons? How are the goons doing? 0.355. Nice. I think I sold a goon at 1 ETH. great trader.
Wow.
Really
You
good
are
trader,
you
yeah.
actually are a good trader, which is what scares me about your Moonbird.
For the record, I do think there's like an art to trading these things. I don't think it's like not like you can be a good trader in this. I just don't think the fundamentals are there.
Thank you. These were this is some of the art that I actually think is badass art that I haven't moved to hidden. That's just absolute dust. These Wixas I thought were so cool. You couldn't pay someone to take these out of my account, but I like them. Anyways, that concludes Pete shares.
I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yes. Anytime
Yeah.
you guys want to see my bags. A lot of blue chips in there. A lot of blue chips.
A lot of blue chips and a lot of potential blue chips. The hot dogs. I'm all about the hot dogs.
We're gonna get you a hot dog.
Isn't there a hot dog near Chicago? Isn't that a place near Chicago?
That's part of the inspiration. Shenko and his buddy Hopper, I believe the origin story is they went to get hot dogs and we're like, we should spin up a project. But yes, you know what? Look who just rolled in.
Willis.
It's our buddy Willis. How you doing, Willis?
How's it going, guys?
Doing good, man. We've just had a spirited debate tonight, having a lot of fun. We were just going through my entire OpenSea collection.
I know. I watched it.
What do you think, Willis? Am I a great collector?
You got a lot of great stuff, Pete. You know.
Thank you.
I want to see more of a. You know, I wish you could get the man's on to see his OpenSea.
Oh,
I know he's got some great stuff.
You know what? Maybe tomorrow Mans will fire up a special 420 stream and go through his account.
Oh yeah.
Did Babs retire?
No, he's grinding.
He's still grinding.
You want to know? You guys were asking who would buy a Moonbird. Not only did Babs win the raffle for a Moonbird, he second guide another one.
At what price?
Like 10 or 11 ETH.
He's
good trade. Good trade.
He's fucking insane in that channel. That channel has actually created generational igloos for that man. It's unbelievable.
Igloos, yes. Willis, what's new with you, buddy? Hang on. I thought you moved?
I have not moved yet. I will be moving in like a month.
Okay, because I was gonna say this background looks so familiar to me, and I was like, did you find a house that had the exact same setup?
No. No, new house will be completely different. You know, so that probably won't have the board behind me next. Probably won't have windows behind me. You know, I'm gonna my new computer setup will be in the same room as my wife's home office, basically.
And there's lots of rumors going around, Willis, that you only bought this new house because you someday think someone else will pay you more for it. Is that true?
Possibly, yeah. But you know, depending on how my life goes, I also bought this house because it might be the house that I'll live in for a very long time.
Ooh,
so, that's utility. That's real utility.
Because you know, this move is a move that I didn't really want to do. You know, I love the city and everything that I live in now, but you know, just the way the world works, it made sense to relocate and, you know, stay with my current company and everything and move to where their corporate headquarters are. So, you know,
I hope they airdropped you a nice raise for such an inconvenience.
Yeah, I got a nice raise. You know, I got a great relocation package. So, you know,
love it.
It's
awesome.
It's pretty good.
Happy, super stoked for you guys, and obviously always stoked to have you in the club. And you were running pure in the Top Shot drop the other day. Hit the hollow drop, right?
I did. Yeah, I was like, I think I was like 160 in line. So it was like not even a sweat. It was, you know, it was basically like, do I want to spend $1,000 on this pack? You know, and everyone talked about like the most money that they spent on an NFT and everything. Spending $1,000 on this hollow pack, that's the most that I've ever spent.
Let's go.
You know,
Mike, did you line up for it?
No.
No.
Oh, that's
Wow.
when you
I had
know.
a dentist. If you were following on, if you followed my thread that day, I had a dentist at the same time as a drop.
Wow.
Wait,
I had a
There's a
cleaning.
Mike. There's a drop at noon. There's a drop at like 3.
Whatever the 2
There's a
o'clock
drop at
one
like
was.
5.
Yeah, Mike only gets in the
There's 3
priority
drops.
queue, Willis.
It
Only
was a
the
6-hour
priority.
appointment, Willis.
I didn't want the MGLE.
Look at his teeth. They look amazing.
When was the hollow drop? What time is it? I don't know.
There was 3 different ones.
Each
There's
queue,
no way
yeah.
you had a dentist appointment for
I
like
haven't sent out a
8
text.
hours.
I haven't
Did you
sent
send
out
out
a
a
text.
text? I don't
Yeah,
know.
and got a
I just
lot
wasn't
of back.
like fiending after it.
Jack, I need
back.
to get resubscribed to your text service. I unsubscribed the second I got like a general sports update for it, but apparently I need to get back on there.
Hold on. No, I sent it. I said hollow pack queue if you qualify, open right now. Reply stop if you want to be removed. I hadn't sent a pack text in like months. I got some good.
How many people are on that text list?
Just 3,000.
Just 3,000.
Yeah.
So were you tempted to be like, get your tendies from
No,
Pop
I
Jam?
send that to our general but the pack I respect, but that's why the intern one time sent a general one, and that's why everyone left. Because under the same
How
domain.
many people did you lose from that?
I don't know.
accidental?
I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
But yeah, I joined the queue and then I forget. Like, how the fuck do they not have that? Are we opening Willis's pack?
We are. Yeah, we
Is
are.
it going to be a walk-off, or do we have time to discuss?
No, we got time. We're in no rush. And
like
we got D-Man coming by.
What do you? Okay.
We're chill. We're chill.
Okay. Because I would like to talk Top Shot.
We should. No, Willis is here to talk
But
unless Willis
first-
has an out.
No, I'm good. So,
Okay. Yeah, your relocation, you're good. You don't have to leave yet.
Yeah. No,
Before Top Shot, just curious general sentiment from obviously you guys, but also the chat. We went to Candy today, MLB NFTs, and just cool conversation with them. Maybe do something on the SnapX Sports side with them. But curious, have you guys looked at that stuff? Any interest? I've seen in the chat before people being like, Jack, have you checked out Candy? I admittedly haven't really, but I know that like it's Gary V, Rubin, and Novogratz, so they've got an interesting thing. But I'm curious what the Rock Dog says. I have a large candy bag. So Mike, like you bought whatever the classic MLB shit.
Yeah.
You're into sports NFTs. You're a collector. Have you dove into Candy at all?
So I haven't really, but for the same reason I haven't really gotten that much into like NFL all day. It's just it's very, very time consuming to like really like truly get into one of these and follow on with it. So like if I just gotten into NFTs like and didn't have a lot like the non-sports NFTs that I have, wasn't as deep in Top Shot, I definitely would check it out. Yeah. I like the sports NFTs.
Yeah. Rock Dog, DM me on Twitter. I want to chat. I'm just intrigued by like this, I guess the general idea of why sports NFTs haven't caught on. I think they will one day, but when is the answer? And I don't know if, maybe Top Shot fucked up and they gamified it. Maybe baseball isn't for the, it's the wrong generation. I think they'll win as a collectible at some point, but I'm always curious about people who are playing in that shit. What's up, Jennings?
We have Jennings. We have D-Mang. How you guys doing tonight?
Only 75 minutes late.
You're good.
No big deal.
Time change. D-Mang, it looks like he's about to start his set at Ultra. So
let's look at that. Every time you do a show, you have a new space or a new setup.
It's the Mango Lab. We're working on things here. We're getting it set up. It just, we're in an agile environment here. We just looking for keep improving.
I love it. The vibes are really nice with this setup here.
Can you hear me all right? I'm trying a new microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Right,
Crystal clear. Crystal
Thank
clear. Pete, what's going on? Busy day?
Outrageously busy. I had a call at back-to-back calls, 7 to 15, 7:30, and then of course they all run ridiculously late. So I'm doing everything I can, trying to support the girls. And here I am 75 minutes late. And StreamYard is legitimately tilting the shit out of me because every other Google Hangouts, Zoom, all this stuff, I bought this expensive camera. They all pick it up, but StreamYard only will pick up my iMac camera. So, Pete, maybe I need to talk to you and figure out what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
Is
Yeah,
it
we got it.
is it a Sony?
Your mic sounds amazing, Jennings.
I got this. I got the mic.
Yeah.
But then here's my camera. This thing.
Oh, you got that guy. Yeah.
And it doesn't pick up on stream.
You want to look pretty like me and D-Mang. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I look so bad. I'm stressed. I'm getting old. It's bad.
No, P, I saw photos of you from Easter at the country club with the fam. You're looking good.
I mean, with the right moment, I might look okay. But tonight, I'm stressed. I've been drinking wine. I've been on calls. I'm just...
Yeah, I got one of your emails today. I know you've had a busy day. Are you excited that Russell Wilson is going to be your neighbor?
That's the other thing. We are under contract on another house. So imagine owning a house, buying a lot for your dream house, and then putting another offer on another house. I mean,
wait, I thought this was your dream house, the one you put the sauna in and all this?
This house is great. I love this house.
Which one is next to Russ?
The house we just put an offer on. Yeah.
Okay. So but it's not far from where you're at now, right?
No, they're all within like a 2-mile radius. Our current house is only 3 bedrooms, and the other bedrooms in the basement, and then our Gracie's bedrooms upstairs. So Ashley really doesn't want, and if we're lucky enough to have 2 kids, to have 2 kids on different floors.
Yeah.
So that's what we're excited to build, and then I guess the conversation for another day is building right now is a little intimidating and seems like potentially a financial disaster relatively.
Builders build, Pete. Come on.
Yeah.
Builders build, but
Supply chain is fucked right now.
it's just there's some downside to actually building. Right now is not the optimal time to build your dream home. So
Is lumber still just astronomical?
lumber's actually been going down. Lumber's down. Everything else is up though. Steel. And the big problem is labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear that. Missed on Moonbirds, missed on proof, missed on everything.
We had a long Moonbird conversation.
What's your Moonbird take, Jennings?
Panel? Yeah, fucking overs that is.
Oh, baby.
Love the art. Love the community.
I missed on the mint.
Oh, hey, it's not too late, buddy.
Did you hit the mint, Pete?
If you were here earlier, of course,
did.
I'm an excellent trader, excellent at raffles.
You hit the 25% bank?
Of course I did.
Did you mint something good?
Oh, yeah, she's adorable.
Oh, she's really cute.
How rare.
Hey, Jennings, what's your take on Moonbirds before we influence you with our thoughts on them?
I'm really curious about that.
Huge fan of Kevin Rose and his content. Proof was really interesting to me when it launched. And $39.40. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That looks like it's worth probably $200,000, something in that range.
That's what
low
I
six
think.
figures.
Yeah, high 6 figures. Yeah,
high 6 figures.
high 6 figures, mid 6 figures.
Nice.
And Mike was actually saying, Pete, he thought they're kind of undervalued at their current floor, and he was saying if anyone was kind of on the fence about aping in, that they should probably do it now before.
Oh, no, let's let Jennings have his thoughts before we share our thoughts.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I mean, my macro thought that the most impressive thing was the volume. And I know being in NFT world and whatever else, you can be up, you can be down. General sentiment was probably a little bit bearish. And then you see this and it's like, wow, there's something here that's amazing. Not just from a monetary standpoint, but the community and just this new asset class. I think there's something here. And I think the next wave will be really interesting, but just another piece of evidence that this is not just like a fad that's going to disappear. So that I think was confirmed by Moonbirds. I don't really have any other strong takes. I mean, Kevin Rose is someone you want to bet on. What they've done with the Proof Pass is great. A lot of his content's great. He's an amazing entrepreneur. And clearly they're thinking about the long game with these things. Does that justify the current price? I wouldn't be buying right now.
Buy or sell at 20 ETH, Jennings.
Sell, but I've been wrong about all this. I mean, I've been wrong about Bored Ape Yacht Club. I've been wrong about all this stuff. I would sell only because I'd be trying to re-enter at a different price, a week or two from now. But I was also wrong. Like I was looking at these like when they're 6th, 7th, 80th, 9th, and didn't pull the trigger. So I just clearly I can't, the hype cycle starts, and I think we're all lucky to be privy and kind of see this on Twitter and within our circles where it feels like, oh, we're late, but we're actually really early, even amongst the hype cycles we're plugged in. And then when it really starts to pump, if you're just trying to flip something, that's probably the better option. But yeah, at the end of the hype cycle, I have more conviction that it's probably better to wait for a better entry point. What was the consensus view from you guys?
Guess. What do you think?
I imagine.
Guess what? Actually Jack's take might be a little harder to guess, but guess Mike's take and guess my take.
Mike, I imagine, is like he's a seller at this price.
Yeah, I mean, he's a seller.
That's correct.
He's a seller down to one Jokic MVPA NFT.
And Jack's take, that's nuanced, huh?
He's a man of many opinions.
Jack's a hard one to peg, just in general. Like he's a hard one to figure out. Like
Jack likes to win, though. That's what I hear. Jack likes to win.
Of course, he's the head of winning.
He's the head of winning. So
I see Jack. I would expect Jack to be more in tune to like maybe have the intuition to like buy kind of early in the hype cycle and flip later in the hype cycle. But this is clearly not that. Maybe you're bullish long term, Jack, because Kevin Rose is such a unique entrepreneur. I don't know.
I was screaming at Overzet to sell. I just think it's bizarre that it's worth $60,000. But he said it's fair that Pete's only holding because he thinks it's going to go up, which is fair. I'm the worst trader. The worst trader.
So Pete, if you had two, you would have sold one earlier before, right?
If I had two?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That's the hard part about holding one.
It's super hard. Yeah. Yeah.
I love Kevin Rose. I listen to Modern Finance. I've listened to a bunch of his content. I've followed him before NFTs. I think he's had a really measured approach to this whole industry, has shared a lot of alpha, has taken a long-term view. When he came out with the proof pass, I thought it was really cool. And honestly, I was just too lazy to pick one up. And then I saw it go higher. Same story with Bored Ape Yacht Club, whatever else. I just, once it starts rising in price, I think it's too late. In reality, it wasn't. And that's a bias because you look at the other projects that go up and then tank back to zero and you don't remember those. So it's just a vicious cycle.
It is. But I mean, the one thing I've learned, since I minted this on Friday is just the community is so strong. And I've met some lifelong friends. And
make it your profile picture, you bitch.
Don't talk to me about making an NFT my profile picture.
So what's your plan, Pete?
He has none. That's the greatest part of everything we've learned over the last 18 months. He says, I'm going to sell in the future because I agree it's probably not long. But we're like, so what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know.
I'll show you.
Exclamation point vibes is his
I'll
answer,
show you my
I feel
plan.
like.
Get one of these for where I'm headed. You can't even see the screen. Let's see. Yeah.
What's
AJ,
D-Mang and Willis think?
Willis, should I sell?
I mean, if it was me, I would sell, but I'm just one that will take any profit I can. Yeah. So I'm the ultimate rent seeker.
D-Mang, can you imagine?
Once you cover your mortgage, that's your exit plan.
I still do have a mortgage. So you're saying I should pay it off? I should sell this bird and pay it off?
Maybe or hold it until it gets to that point.
Birds to pay off.
Unless his house is going to become a rocket and is going to the moon, he's holding on to his Moonbird.
I'm actually going to turn my house into a nest and kind of welcome in a lot of birds from the community. That's the one thing about this experience has made me more sympathetic to kind of birds and their plight.
Are they the first big bird NFT? Are they the first big bird NFT?
There's
No,
a
that was
bird, there's
Sesame
a
Street.
billion bird NFTs. There's fucking hawks. There's owls.
No.
There's
Are they the
pigeons,
first?
there's-
Penguins.
Are they the first
Literally, there's
big
penguins.
bird?
There's
Honestly,
Yeah,
that's
penguins.
part of my that was part of my thesis in holding. Is it is the first big bird NFT?
Big bird.
No,
Not
big
ever.
big space bird. Like there's been bird
Yeah.
NFTs. This is the biggest of the bird NFTs.
Right.
It's a Veblen bird, is kind of what I've said.
Yeah.
I think Lou has the right take. If I had one, I would punt it to the moon, sell immediately, and then probably regret it in a couple of weeks. And also another good take by Lou here. Yes, Old Pete would have a bird prop. Do you have one over your right shoulder or left shoulder, whatever shoulder that is?
I have no birds. No birds. I failed. But trust me, I mean, this community is just getting started, and I can't wait to see what we do.
You have an owl on the way.
You know who
An owl's
has
on
all the birds?
Who?
Kyrie Irving.
He
What
does. He does. have the
Oh,
birds.
okay.
There you go.
Right.
I
Well
don't
done,
watch
Willis.
basketball,
Yeah,
so
I
I
got
didn't
it.
get that reference.
Jack got it.
Oh, that is right. Penguin Fight Club was before Moonbird.
All right.
Penguin Fight.
All right. Overzet. I have a great tweet for you.
Okay.
I have
You
great
have a tweet
you.
for me?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna ghostwrite you.
Oh, wow. Hang on. Wait 1 sec. Let me pull up the screen. All right. I'm ready.
All right, now I'm cracking under the pressure, but I'll give you the thesis of it. Thanks to Willis's comment. Kyrie Irving got fined the price of one Moonbird. Like something along those lines. We're still
Is that what you had in mind, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, look, if Kyrie's paying fines out like for one game, for one middle finger, then Moonbirds are kind of cheap.
This is hard seeing my tweet go head to head with Naval's as the engagements just rack up. The biggest benefit of getting older is that you know you should continue to hold your Moonbird.
Hold your bird.
All right, Jack. Let's see if this one's
Oh.
gonna do numbers here. Wow, thank you, Club Top Shot.
Thanks.
Clay.
I wonder. I'm still curious if there's a crossover between your NFT audience and your NBA audience.
My NBA audience. I have a massive NBA audience. All right, what are we doing here?
Who knows? Who the fuck?
We didn't even talk about. I don't.
Yeah, can we talk Top Shot, Mike? What's the deal? I feel like I am almost on the point of giving up. I don't know what to do.
Don't give up.
Based on what? Based on like the recent errors that have been made, or what's been triggering you over the last week? Talk to me.
That, like, it feels like it's just like they're creating the Sunday of frustration, and like that's like they put more sprinkles on top of my sprinkles that were already like. Okay, I'll phrase it like this: when was the last positive thing that happened on the platform, in your opinion? Like this playoff activation, maybe the community stuff.
I enjoyed Roham's AMA. I think it's going to take a little while for his words to turn into actions, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I enjoyed what they outlined for the future.
When was that? When was that?
Maybe 3 weeks ago.
Gotcha. What did he say? That because remember
he said that they are going to introduce market spend rewards, which I hope should undo some of what I view as the damage caused by the unintended consequences of collector score and some of the other decisions that have been made that kind of warp the market away from collectibles and more towards gambling gamification. He said that there's going to be a lot of community or like third-party platform-based incentives and rewards built out. They said they're giving $10 million to platforms building around the ecosystem.
Is that Dapper or that's Top Shot?
Well, it's actually technically the Flow team, I think, who's doing that.
Right. Okay. So I'm not going to count that.
Okay.
For Top Shot, I feel like.
Here,
obviously, some of the tools will be built for Top Shot, but is bid system, isn't that supposed to be during the playoffs?
Yeah, here I'm gonna find the actual article, but he talked about a bid system. He talked about hold on, I'm trying to actually find because they put out a blog alongside it.
So the answer is all. I guess the answer is the positive is that he promised shit down the road, and your whole thing on other NFTs is not trusting in the promises down the road.
No, I would say, as I've mentioned, I view Top Shot as a different type of NFT because I actually am a sports fan and had affiliation with sports collectibles before. So it's not purely just a bet on what people say will come in the future. That's a part of the platform, but I'm not acquiring these because Roham said that bids and asks are coming. I'm acquiring them because I'm a sports fan. I'm just trying to see. Here we go.
So I guess, all right, I guess the question is, has anything actually happened or like positive for the platform, I guess was the question.
Just like since when?
I'm saying, when was the last time something positive, in your opinion, happened on the platform? Like Pete's question was, why do I feel this way? And I said, because I feel like nothing positive has happened on platform in a very long time. And you pointed to Roham, who had an AMA about stuff that will come, but when's the last recent thing? I would say it's probably the playoff and team captains, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think the playoff activations, they're sending fans to every playoff game. If you've had a look at your collection anytime recently, they now have a different presentation that highlights your sets that you've completed, the team sets you have. If you go to the overview page, which I think are all improvements, and then they have some bigger picture items they highlighted in Roham's Ask Me Anything, and obviously that are still to play out across the playoffs. So I think all of that signals a greater emphasis on kind of activations for NBA fans. They've also, I'm trying to read the actual article here. Where did I just put it? Okay, so I sent it to the private chat here.
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Yeah, so like one of Roham's things that he emphasizes scarcity on Top Shot, which will take a while for him to actually implement. But I think the signal from their standpoint of them acknowledging there's more supply than the current user base can handle is helpful. I put out a thread last week that Roham responded to, saying that historically they have minted supply for future growth, and they're going to focus it more on the current user base and mint to current user base rather than future user base, which obviously hasn't materialized yet, but I think that's encouraging to hear.
Is that so? I'd fire back on that. Part of why I was like okay with them minting 60,000 was because that was their vision and their roadmap and his belief that we're going to onboard millions of users. Are you okay with, like, you can change course. There's ways to get good feedback and kind of adjust, but does that like stray from the original vision, or how do you do something like that?
I think it's a good question. I think the challenge is doing many pack drops the way they typically do without the other actions taken to bring on new and more users. They've kind of said that we're not making a super strong marketing push until the beginning of Series 4 at the earliest. And
okay. Did they say that? Like, that's ridiculous.
They have. I've seen it in seen it in
partner with fucking Kevin Durant. Every promoted ad I see is a Top Shot ad. Like, so I don't know what they're on the NBA. Like, that's where that's bullshit. Like, that's quite frankly.
I'm just saying what you,
but that's a lie. Like, is it not?
Oh, I don't know what else they would have planned. I'm
like,
not.
No. I'm saying, would you argue that they haven't turned on marketing?
Oh, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think they have plans to ramp up marketing from where they are now in the future. And so I think it's a bit of a disconnect to release packs now saying we think this helps onboard new users, when what appears to be the numbers and the demand in the marketplace doesn't show that what they're doing right now is enough to bring on new users. And so then to continue with the supply and justifying it by this brings on new users without pulling other levers to bring on new users, when the supply alone is clearly not bringing in new users, gets dilutive at some point. Effectively, the same user base buying new moments will naturally dilute existing moments and put everyone in a more difficult position. So I think that changing course on that, or at least aligning better marketing, whatever other levers they can pull to bring in new users with the pack drops, would be more effective. And it seems like they're acknowledging some semblance of that by focusing on scarcity.
Is the fact that everything comes back to just new users, does that make it a Ponzi scheme of sorts or no?
Oh my God, Jack, get out of here.
No. I'm not calling. I'm like when we talk about like we all root for new entrants into the market, right?
Dude,
because
okay.
I'm
This is one thing I have
asking
high
like
conviction
what's
on.
the yeah.
Every crypto asset, every protocol, every NFT, the underlying value, at least at this point, I mean, exclude things that are like hyper focused on utility or whatever, but all this is network effect. So what's the difference between network effect and a Ponzi scheme?
Yeah.
We're just talking about intrinsic value at the end of the day here. It lacks intrinsic value, so you're relying on someone else paying you for an asset you hold. Otherwise, you can't monetize it.
Right.
But even like Bitcoin, for example, right, which clearly has some intrinsic value, the fact that the network hasn't failed, that it's still working now at this point.
The difference between network effect and a Ponzi is I can make money off of Bitcoin's network effect. I can't make money off of Twitter's network effects.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, something that's not yielding a service, shelter, or food, like the only way to monetize it is someone paying you more for it than what you paid for it. And like, that's it. You can break down anything like that.
Pete makes a good point though, like Facebook, the underlying value of Facebook, Twitter, any social network is also network effect.
But they're providing the reason those companies are valuable is they're providing a service to advertisers.
Yeah, but the service is only valuable because of the audience, which is basically network effect.
Yeah, but there's like there's a source of revenue beyond like holding these assets doesn't generate revenue for you.
Right.
But that's
be said for Bitcoin and whatever else.
And that's what a lot of these protocols are trying to do, right? Like the looks rare stuff. They're trying to incentivize early adoption of their platform by giving you a direct incentive to use it. Twitter was able to get us all to use it just because the technology was a brilliant idea and they didn't have to incentivize us with money. And now the network effects are so large that they don't feel beholden to do it. In the same way, OpenSea doesn't feel like they have to. Everyone's always like, win OpenSea token, win that. It's like, we're already so big. The network effects are so big. We don't have to do it. Whereas the little guys now everyone demands kind of having some kind of incentive to use a network.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jack, but I just
No. That was a genuine question. It's a general question. I think sometimes in this industry, it's like everyone is always rooting for new people, and I see someone write in the comments like we're rooting for exit liquidity. Like I think that's genuinely what some people are saying when they want more people in. So I was asking
100%.
like, what is the difference between just wanting new users? Like, why do we want new users? Essentially, it's so the assets will be worth more.
I think for a lot of people, it's also a more like what we were talking about before. The price itself signals like how interesting the asset is, and the more people that want something, the better it feels to hold something. If you go meet some alien civilization and wear like the highest end clothing and watches and drive the nicest cars, they're not going to give a shit, and you're going to feel like an idiot. It only means anything because other people care about it. So it means more if more people know about it. So there's an element of that, but for the most part, it's absolutely a way to increase the value of assets.
Well, it drives the market too, right? I mean, at that point, you're adding new interest. You add the liquidity. It's driving the market values. The fact that you're buying a product, I think, takes the Ponzi out of that portion out of the argument, because you're getting something in exchange for the money. So even if there is no new people, there's a value within the current market participants. And so you don't need the influx of new to get your exit liquidity necessarily. It's driven by the value that those people are drawing from the product.
it's true.
I think it's a good question overall. It's definitely a valid question. Yeah, in order to profit on most of these things, you need to sell it to someone else for more than you paid for it. Like that's the beginning and end of it.
Yeah. Were there, Pete, I know you came in late. Were there any other things you wanted to mention before we do have some packs to open with these guys?
Oh baby. The land sale for Yuga Labs is interesting to me. I don't know if you guys saw that little tweet that it's like the inner land is Bored Apes, and then Mutant Apes have another layer, and then they lump together a variety of other projects, including Punks, Toads, World of Women,
Meebits. Yeah.
Meebits.
Yeah, Toads
Is that
were
real though? Was that tweet
were
real?
running.
Or was it speculation?
No clue, but the market's reacted.
Yeah, there was like someone swept. It was like 100 ETH worth of Toads, and then I saw some people from the Toads coming out and saying we've had no official discussions with Yuga Labs, but people are kind of connecting dots.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you guys what you. I mean, I don't know if it's real. I just saw the market activity, saw the tweet. What do you guys think?
I have no idea. I only saw.
I mean, we know these leaks get out. Someone knows something, and they tell a friend who tells a friend. It ends up in all the group chats, and people act on it. So I'd imagine if there's market action and some people are starting to tweet about it, there's some kernel of truth to it.
Yeah.
Even though I find it odd that Cryptodes would come out and actually deny it in that case. Like, I just wouldn't have said anything. So that makes me think maybe it isn't real.
I didn't see that, to be honest.
Yeah, actually,
isn't that what you just said?
Well, yeah, it was one guy that I actually don't even know if he's affiliated with crypto.
I mean, Bored Ape Yacht Club. I mean, I guess that's one thing. I mean, we've talked about it a bunch on this panel, and everyone in NFTs has talked about it, but we're at 128th floor. I mean,
Yeah.
we got zero Bored Apes on the panel right now, right?
No, we do got one Moonbird.
Don't talk about Bored Apes. Talk about the Moonbird. What are the
How
odds that
did we-
Moonbird flips Bored Apes in the next 6 months?
What'd you say?
What are the odds? Maybe that's a good lot of things
The
question.
flip? All right, so let's get it out.
One lot of things question.
All right.
What are the odds that the floor of Moonbirds is higher than the floor of Bored Ape for an ape in 6
But
months?
who you're
We're
asking
talking like
is gonna
horse
be-
racing odds, like 5 to 1, 10 to 1.
Yeah, percentage. We can all do
Percentage.
percentages.
Just give it percentage. But
Wait,
Who
who
are
are
we
we actually answering?
I feel like you have to do like 8 to 1 or whatever that, like, because someone
same
like
thing.
0%.
That's 8
No,
to
but
1
it's
to
not-
12.5%.
odds.
Can you
No,
figure
no,
out?
no, I know.
7 to 1 is 12.5%.
I'm saying
Sorry, Jack, that was me.
yeah, write a fucking percentage down.
no, because if I'm
7%,
like 0%,
12.5%.
if I say 0%, that's different than 100,000 to 1 and 1,000,000 to 1. Those
yeah,
are,
Then
that's-
write
right,
0% wouldn't be right.
0.5%.
but I don't know what 0.05% is.
God damn it, Jack. Don't make this harder. Who's getting asked this question, Pete? Who are you asking?
Well, let's ask Mike.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Very good.
The context you need, Pete, is that
I don't have
earlier in
any
this,
other context. That's why. you guys
earlier
are
in
a
this
huge
show,
advantage.
did you see this tweet, Pete? This is when we asked MBL, what would he rather have, a Moonbird or this new joking NFT from the NBA?
Well, did you see my reply?
I like sports. All right, should we ask someone else? Because Mike's so clearly.
Mike,
Yeah,
Mike's
ask-
gonna write the bullet, is what he's
Ask
I
gonna
thought,
do.
I thought the
Ask
decision
T-Man.
was made. We played the game.
Nah, ask T-Mag. I think
All right.
he'll.
All right, D-Man,
All right.
you're up, bud. We're asking you.
The
What percent?
What percent chance? 6 months. At any point in time in the next 6 months, what is the percent chance that Moonbirds flip the Bored Ape Yacht Club apes is the highest floor?
All right.
It doesn't. There could be something else to be the highest floor. Just they have to flip the floor price of Bored Apes.
I think D-Mang's a pretty rational dude.
Over that's like 1,000%.
No, there's what I think, and there's what D-Mang thinks, and I'm playing a game right now.
All
And
right.
that game dictates that I guess what D-Mang thinks.
All right, I got my answer.
Willis, do you have yours?
Willis, you have it?
Yeah, I do. I saw Jack's phone. My answer is the same as his.
Wow,
Same?
Yep.
Well, you
Oh,
don't know
sharp.
if you don't know if I meant 2.3 to 1 or if I meant 2.3%.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my
So
god,
ours are
you and
different.
I are in the same boat. I said 2.1%.
You guys each put 2%? All right,
5%.
D-Mang,
I did-
I said you said 26%.
What?
Oh, I did 23%.
All right.
That's because I know.
Oh, I'm point. Wait, who did?
I'm 2.1. What'd you say, Mike?
What was Mike's answer?
Willis said he's 23.
Yes, come on, give me the lowest number.
8%.
Oh,
8%.
that's
I
me,
thought, you
right?
said, I thought you said 23. Who said 23%?
No, Willis did.
That's mine, right?
I did.
Okay.
For the record, my answer would be like 15 to 20%, not like 0%.
Did you guys just hear that? Mike's
I was gonna
bullish
go
on
3%.
Moonbird flipping boardings.
Wait,
You're
Mike-
bullish on the team, Mike.
Mike, did you just trade a Kawhi Cosmic for a Moonbird?
What?
So I have a question. Using that Jokic card as an example.
Yes,
right?
please do.
So the thing, a competitive advantage that I would say, or a uniqueness to the product that is Top Shot, is the dynamic or the dynamicism of that cube, right? It's a moment and it's a cube. No one's got anything else really like that other than Dapper products.
Nope,
UFC.
not even all day. Not
Right?
even all
So-
day.
Most of them were 2D cards, like the Jokic, right?
Or the
So-
horses that can only run in a straight line.
You got horses, straight line horses. So you talk about, right? So the cube's got 6 sides then. And if we deconstructed that cube, that gives you 6 things to put into a pack. to
D-Bag,
rip.
we're only an hour away from 420 here on the East Coast.
Yeah,
How
I was
do you
gonna
think-
say, did you hit the volcano?
so I'm just saying, like, if you like deconstruct the cube,
Yeah.
put them in packs. But then I'm curious because, like, you have Mike who likes sports. But then is that just gamification then? If you break it apart to reconstruct it. So then you can scale, you can have 10,000 players and scale that to 60,000 units, put them in packs, rip them, build the cube. It doesn't activate until you build it, and then it becomes the top
And
shot.
it would be that would put a ridiculous premium on the serial cube of it. Like if you could collect the rest of the 5, but then it was the serial. I like what you're smoking over there.
I'm just
Nice thought.
it's I mean it's at the expense, it's gamification at the or economy at the expense of gamification mechanics, but hey, then you don't
Levy, what do you think?
Remember, like, with the stuff you used to get in packs, though? There were stickers, there was gum. Like, how do you, like,
I think it's
get that
interesting.
feeling on something that's...
And then you could burn a piece of it and really fuck everything up.
And
I
then,
think
yeah,
it's
if you had that, like, then there would be roadblocks, there would only be so many cubes you can construct. I mean, it adds a layer. I don't know if that's what we as collectors are going for, but in an attempt to address scarcity as a problem, like, you're giving us this fully constructed dynamic thing that no one else does.
I feel like this is like level 2 of sets. Like sets are a similar sort of concept. You take components, you put them together, you complete the piece. This is like you take the components, you break them apart, and then you have to complete the components to then put those together and complete a set. I think it's a similar
But
sort
then
of
it becomes,
interesting.
but you don't want it to become a game necessarily.
Yeah, no, but I think that's. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think through like the consequence of that, what that would look like. It's definitely like forced activity for people. Like they've got to put the pieces together in the same way that after there's a new drop, you have to either sell or do the challenge effectively. In this, you either have to like probably collect all the different pieces or sell to someone who is, I guess, or you could just keep the components. I don't know. It's interesting.
Top Shot was my first introduction, and when it comes to sports card collectibles and NFTs, it just, to me, everything feels so shallow and pedantic. I mean, it's just 2D. Here's a card. Like, why am I not just collecting cardboard then? I mean, at that point, if I can hold something 2D, it's tangible, then it's 3D. Otherwise, give me the visualization, and then we have the products like slabs, infinite objects, things like that. you're building an ecosystem out. But that's where their product wins in my mind.
D-Mang's ready for the metaverse is what I'm hearing. No, I think
I want to address a comment that someone in the chat said. They said, how are any of us above 1%? And just think about 10 months ago when Bored Apes first came out. You know, no one would have ever thought, you know, we had the conversations on here many times of them flipping punks, let alone buying punks themselves. Like, in the NFT world, anything can happen.
Yeah, everything moves so fast, and we talk about execution risk, and I think we've talked about this with Andy a bit. There's narrative risk too. The narratives change so quickly, and hive mind and groupthink is so prevalent that I would not feel safe making bets on basically anything over a really long span.
Right. Yeah, that's why I went as high as 15 to 20%. I just feel like it's super volatile all across the board. And like it's not like, I don't know. I mean, things move super quickly. I'd love to go back 6 months and just like check out what price are. I know people post that shit on Twitter all the time, but like it's pretty shocking to see sometimes.
Honest question, Mike, as a, you know, and for Pete too, like if knowing exactly what you know today, you have this knowledge and you could go back in time, would you still buy multiple punks?
Yeah, I'd fucking flip them and then buy Bored Apes.
Yeah, what do you mean? We would that's what a crazy question. We would do exactly what Max.
No. Okay, fine. Let me add more constraints to this hypothetical. You know that you have to hold it until this point. Would you not buy punks?
I'd buy Bored Apes.
I would buy whatever up went the most to this point, and then sell it and probably go buy more punks now.
So then why is Moonbird such a hard thing to wrap your head around it when you can view it through just the lens of profit?
No, I fully understand people's desire to make money and that there's a trading element to it and there's financial speculation. I'm not saying people shouldn't do it because like there's no service that comes with it. If you feel like there's a financial opportunity, of course, go participate. I've always said that. But rent seekers and everyone else, like go do your thing, go make money. That's not hard for me to wrap my head around. What's hard for me to wrap my head around is anyone legitimately saying they think that this makes sense at a $70,000 entry right now, like with fundamental and like logical reasoning.
So Mike, all right, I have a better hypothetical. No offense, Pete.
Do you want me to
knowing what Bored Apes and Yuga has executed on?
Are you choosing your words carefully?
Right. Raising capital, which is essentially their execution at this point, and buying punk. No, but knowing everything that went down, if you remove the price like from that process and went back, like a lot of it, right, was on speculation. And we're like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Knowing what they've done, what do you think you would have priced Bored Apes at? Do you get what I'm asking?
Yeah. Basically, based on what they've actually accomplished to date, if I could remove the price of Bored Apes and say, here's what I think, setting aside the actual price of Bored Apes, here's what's happened. What do you think Bored Apes are worth?
Exactly.
You're right, Jack. That was a better hypothetical. Good job.
I don't know. It's a hard question to answer. It's really hard to distinguish between within Yuga Labs what's going to go to equity value holders, what's going to go to ape tokens, what's going to go to mutants, and how much they can actually produce from a value standpoint. Whether or not something like a 200,000 plot land sale will actually go well when there are 6,000 owners of Bored Apes and mutant apes and kennels and whatever else, and they think they can scale that up. I don't know. There's definitely some execution risk there. It's super hard to quantify.
I'll help you out, Mike. Say 19 ETH.
All right. Wait, hasn't that gone down during the show? You promised 21 by the end of the show. You promised 21.
BL FUD has just a lot of panic sellers lately.
No, I think it's a very reasonable bet to say it will be higher in a week from today than it is right now, just based on how things seem to pan out in this space. But I don't think the price makes rational sense. Jack, I have no idea what the answer to your question is. It's a hard question.
Like, do you think at what point do you think you would have bought into it? Only after they raised capital?
At some point, it kind of like crossed from community shill activity to like celebrities buying it
Right.
and affiliation with Adidas and
Yeah.
some actual tangible things. And then obviously with now a raise at a $5 billion valuation, they've got quite a bit of capital to continue building. They, like everything else we're talking about, are very reliant on other people continuing to come into their ecosystem. Otherwise, they're going to get in trouble because they're going to milk their existing user base dry by selling them land and selling them, I don't know, whatever else they plan on doing to achieve 500 million of sales per their investor presentation. And so they, like everyone else, are reliant on bringing people into their ecosystem. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing. They need to bring a lot of new people into their ecosystem. And
It's called network effect.
Yeah, the people who are in the ecosystem already are fully loyal to it, of course. Look what the ecosystem's done for them. But someone outside the ecosystem clamoring to come in as much as it seems like they are. I don't know. It depends on the entry purchase price, and like everyone else, they're reliant on more people coming in from the outside. But I think like I've said a few times, that what they have now is actually valuable. They've got a war chest of capital. They've got fantastic and smart investors. They've got affiliates and partnerships. They've got celebrity backing. All of that is worth something.
Do people want to own like Bored Ape, have a mutant outside of just like, yeah, it would be dope to own something worth, $300,000? Like, are there people that are like, I'm genuinely curious?
I think today it's a pretty big flex. I think that people do want that flex. I do think so. Yeah.
Okay. Here's your hypothetical with that. Would you rather have a Moonbird that you can sell, or a Bored Ape that you can never sell, but it's in your wallet? Everyone knows you own it, but you can never cash it out.
A Moonbird that I can sell.
Mike's on Team Moonbirds. Let's go.
Yes.
It just took 19 hypotheticals.
With the Bored Apes, I mean, they keep giving Bored Apes and mutant apes, I don't know, token allocations, and they'll probably give them some land and stuff. So not being able to sell the core asset doesn't necessarily mean you can't monetize it. But I'm not attracted to the Bored Ape flex. I'll say that much. That's not my style of flex.
All right. Top Shot, Tesla getting us back on track here. Remember when Willis was going to open a holo pack? Willis, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Are you old enough to remember that? All right, let's do it. Oh, God, I'm so out of practice with these.
Wait.
Yo, what up? It's DJ Pete Overzet. Welcome to the club. We didn't think things were gonna get popping tonight, but it's about to get lit. Behind door number 2, it's a 3-pointer. 1325, Kevin Durant.
Let's go.
We're gonna get a LaMelo. We're gonna get a Luka. We're gonna get a LeBron. Victory reveal. Let's go. God damn it! I don't need another layup. To the window. To the wall. The De'Aaron Fox stripped down my ball. 293 assists. Let's go. 293. Everybody get their drinks. Let's get a cheers tonight before we open up these nice packs.
Cheers. Willis, what are you drinking? People were asking earlier.
It is a boysenberry sour.
Ooh, that sounds nice. What about you, D-May?
Bubbly.
Bubbly?
I'm just keeping it. We got 420 coming up. I'm just keeping it bubbly.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself. Yep. Peter, did you have wine?
I had wine, and now I'm drinking Paloma Sour.
Ooh, okay. Sour boys.
What is a Paloma Sour? What's in that? Is that grapefruity?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
New Belgium.
Okay. A little Colorado.
Wood-aged sour ale with grapefruit, salt, and lime and grapefruit extracts.
Nice. Great. I like a Paloma drink, just tequila grapefruit.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good drink.
D-Mang, what are you gonna rip for us tonight?
I got a special warm up for you.
Ooh, you teased this for me.
Yeah.
Little FPV. Let's go.
Is the jersey still out there? Do we know what we're rooting for here?
I didn't look. That'd be cool.
So you're saying there's a chance Let's see it. I'm curious the music. What kind of FEV
That's-
music are we gonna get?
It's I didn't see the click box, right? It's automatic now. They do this. Yeah.
You're good, yeah.
Knowing Top Shot is the same music.
It is.
All right.
Wow, clicks reveal all.
Wow. Reveal all on one moment. Can I see the moment?
That's a good thing. Yeah. Why didn't it kick into that?
What? Wow. What a
That
moment
is-
for my guy.
You see
What's
what
the
your
buzzer
guy
beater?
did last
Warm and
night?
fuzzies.
What did he do last night, Jack?
Scored 15 in the first quarter and went under his points prop.
You know what he calls that?
Disgusting behavior.
A Monday night. Oh, you say he went under his points prop? Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
I got a premium. I got throwdown. Got rising stars. Extra spread.
Dealer's choice.
Yeah, we're with this since this is the last pack. Nope.
What?
What?
You're gonna
What
want
is
to hold
going
on. You're gonna want to hold on to these
Is
packs.
that expired? You can't open it anymore?
Yeah, what the hell just happened there?
I hit the apparently
Oh,
when you
okay.
click the image now, the thumbnail, it takes.
Are you
to the
sure you
pack
want to
page.
open this?
He
Like,
does.
the pack marketplace is coming. You know that, right?
Let him open it, Jack.
Should I? I mean, is there the pack market?
I'm kidding. It's never
I don't-
coming. Just rip it all right now.
Okay. Now you're making me now throwdowns. No, okay.
No.
I go.
D-Man, come on.
Oh,
I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna get Willis in here if you don't get your shit together.
Here we go.
All right.
It's their last beta feature.
We're never gonna get to sell packs. It's not gonna happen.
No, we will
All
not.
right.
All right. So,
Delayed hover. New meta.
they don't
So
play
they're one of the
automatically
first
either.
Top Shot, affiliated players.
The king of Europe. The face of Top Shot in Europe.
Yeah, can we talk about my guy Facundo Campazzo getting
Oh.
suspended? Bullshit.
Wait. Oh, that's why he hasn't been playing, or is it? He's just not in the rotation, right?
No,
He's
he got
Not
him.
even suspended for a game.
That's the difference in the series right now.
Oh, we got a Randall.
Right.
Great pack so
Here we
far.
go.
I mean, are we? Is it? Yeah.
Come on, be good.
There we. 52.
Chetty Osmond. Wow. Lowry.
It's interesting that this one plays automatically.
Was it Willis? Was it Frankie in the club the other day that pulled a Lori
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, it was a Lori one. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the jersey number of him is in a hollow pack.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right. You want to do one more D-Mang before we get to the hollow?
I'll do a throwdown.
Okay. Here it is. Dort.
Oh. The view.
Lava.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Ooh, 19.
19.
Right.
Oh, I love
Awesome.
Caruso. Oh, that's a great moment.
Nice cereal.
Yeah.
We share similar hairstyles. I'll take it.
Diosimo Baker. Congrats.
That's just. This is going to be a letdown now. Beverly. All right.
Patrick Beverly.
That is a letdown.
There you go.
Hey, we had something there. We had a little something.
No, that's
Not too
awesome.
bad. Not too bad. All right, Willis. You ready for a walk-off hollow rip?
Yeah. So I teased this to Pete
yeah.
before I ripped my hollow pack. Being the rent seeker that I am, I went through all 33 players early this morning and did the lowest ask from all the hollow moments. Number 1 is obviously Steph. Number 2 is Scotty Barnes. Does anyone care to take a guess? The number 3 player, the highest, lowest ask out of the 33 players that you could get out of this hollow pack.
And the only clue you gave was that it would shock you.
It's very shocking.
Pool.
Mike, I can't believe you just said that as the first name because that is correct.
Wow.
I actually pulled a Pool, but I was at number 33, and one of my buddies from early Top Shot days is a huge Warriors fan, and he's like 3 is his lucky number. He gets like every number 33, every 3, so I traded to him for like an easy deal. So I did look a little bit into it.
Wow.
Okay.
What's the low ask on the poll?
I don't have my spreadsheet, but it was like I think like 2,100.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Clay was 4.
2,100.
Yeah.
In the challenge right now?
It might be. I don't know.
Probably.
But yeah,
He's going off.
It was.
I
It was
think
shocking to me.
in the, let's see. I don't know. It's not in the Tatum one, but anyway, okay, cool. That's a fun fact. Pool's been going.
Yeah, it's just very
It's 19.
shocking.
Pool's
to me.
19 right now.
He's down to 19. Okay.
All right. As we open this, thank you guys to everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Happy birthday to Allie, Andy's terrific other half, whose birthday it is today, and the reason why Andy couldn't join us. We appreciate D-Mang, Willis, MBL, Jack, CSU hanging out in the club. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, our presenting sponsor. We're cooking up some fun stuff with them. I teased it to the club VIPs here, but hopefully have a little announcement soon about a little meet and greet, maybe in New York this summer. We'll talk about that later. But Willis, the floor is now yours, buddy. Peter showing off his bling bling.
Yeah, I need that ring.
Good. Yeah, I'm jealous of the ring.
All right, Willis. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. What kind of hollow music do we have here?
Oh, we know the tune. I agree with Consigliere.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the first one.
All right.
Mac.
Is Mac?
That's Mike's voice.
Bane.
Bane.
Unreal.
Nice. His hollow is also a lot more than I thought it would be going for.
Maybe it's his first one.
Slow-mo.
Double grizzly.
No.
Tyus?
Triple grizzly pack.
Come on.
Clippers.
Paul George.
Nice. Nah, we still got a hollow. That's just his MGO.
Oh, Nard.
Nard.
All right, Willis, drop the mic on this hollow.
All right,
Let's
do
go. Willis, one
IQ
time.
number
Cheers.
5.
Murray.
DeJounte.
Murray.
DeJounte.
16.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Oh,
All right.
All right,
Keldon
Keldon.
Johnson. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.
Cheers, everyone.